Hey, I'm Rebecca. Good morning. How you doing? You're probably gonna disagree with something I say during this video, even though today's video is not probably very controversial, but you never know what offends people, really. Today, we're making Taco Bell. We're making Taco Bell. Don't have ingredients yet. I need to go to the store to get some stuff, so let's go do that. I'm back. I'm sufficiently hot and grumpy. Oh, I need to cook for my dogs first. Dude, my lips are crusty. My skin is pink. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking in this video. My Tourette's has been bad recently. I quit weed and I'm trying to find a balance between smoking for medicinal reasons to help activate my CBD tincture that I use, but we're still figuring it out. I have been loving being sober most of the time, grounded in reality, but we're still taking, so hey Tourette's. Okay, so what started this is last night my dad said the words Taco Bell, and for the first time in my 4.5 years of veganism, I was like, there's probably a recipe online for how to cook Taco Bell meat, which was the only reason that I kept eating at Taco Bell for so long before I went vegan. Afterwards, like, there's the nostalgia of like, oh, Taco Bell, and then someone's like, you can eat Taco Bell vegan, you can have potatoes and beans, and you know what, you can, it's really good. I'm gonna put how to order something vegan at Taco Bell right here, but don't do it, because they're gonna put cheese all over and ruin it, and you're gonna fund animal agriculture if you try to eat vegan at Taco Bell, because more often than not, they're gonna mess up your order. They don't give a crap. They're underpaid in the middle of a pandemic. Just make it at home. Because I made it last night and I did the dishes, yay, building good habits, I can use the right pan right away. I don't have to clean anything. I am gonna use a pan with a lid. That's very preferable because you're going to be cooking with water. It just keeps the meat juicier. You know, it's not identical to real meat, but Beyond Meat behaves a lot like real meat, so you do kind of want a lid for something saucy. Right, ingredients, because I said them wrong the first time. Okay, you're gonna need Beyond Meat, either a pack of burgers or a pack of the ground, soft tortillas, because I was a soft taco kid, but then I would just put the sauce on and re-roll it into a small burrito, chili powder, some Spike. This isn't necessary, but it's going to add the correct flavor. Like, if you don't want to use Spike, you could use like oregano, just like typical taco seasoning herbs. I mean, like, if you really don't have any specific herbs, you could even get away with a little Italian herbs, but it's not going to taste the same. Best to use a little bit of Spike. Paprika, you're going to want a good amount of it. That's what makes the sauce all orange. Then there's cumin, because you can't cook tacos without cumin, or onion powder and garlic powder. Like, if you were ever going to make tacos the simplest way, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, salt. But yeah, how do I tell them apart? I sniff them. But they also get used on a cycle, so like obviously the garlic's more full now, so that's how I'm gonna tell. But once this one's full, it's gonna be the sniffer test. And honestly, when I was smoking all the time, sometimes I would be like high or like, I don't know, smoke was damaging my nose, I don't know, but I couldn't smell the differences between them. It was so concerning. Another reason I'm glad to not be getting high all the time. You're also gonna need lettuce, onion, tomato, and vegan cheese. But we'll get there in a minute. Oh, by the way, commenter shout out goes to this lovely person right here who left a bunch of cool comments on my videos. Super nice. Talked about how she gave up smoking, and I was like, girl, that's so funny because God broke both my pipes the other day. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on. I guess medium to medium low. It depends on your stove specifically. I want it hot enough to get cooking pretty quick, but I don't want it so hot that it's gonna burn everything. If only this didn't come in plastic. Their breakfast sausages come in nothing but cardboard, so super eco-friendly. This Not eco-friendly. Not eco-friendly. No one's perfect. Excuse me, gatita. Sweet pea. She's just pushing her face into a box while digging with her little clawsies. She's very heaty right now. Do you hear her? Are you churring? Oh, here's my fat one. Here's my fat one. She's such a beautiful little baby. That's where the smell's coming from. That's what you're smelling. Uh-huh. I'll zoom in here so you can kind of see all this red, juicy stuff coming out that looks like blood. Give it a little flip, because we don't want these burgers cooking as burgers, right? We're about to chop them up into little tiny pieces. So we want to let them get cooked enough to be mushy, because Beyond Meat gets really, really mushy. Insert meme right here, because people don't know how to sell Beyond Meat yet. Bruh. It gets real mushy at room temp, so that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to warm her up, get her mushy. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, we can already cut into it. The sooner you can break it apart, the better, honestly, because once it gets tiny, it's going to start cooking real quick, and then you're going to have a bunch of giant chunks, and that's not how Taco Bell is. You have to break it up tiny. We're really trying to recreate the nostalgia. We're trying to be like, hey, auntie who loves fast food but also wants to be healthy but like loves fast food like a lot of us do. Like, let me cook you some vegan Taco Bell so that way you don't go out and eat that nasty garbage. You know what I mean? Like, we're really trying to impress people. We're trying to convince people that you can have the exact same as Taco Bell, and you literally can. It's so easy. I was gonna stop by Taco Bell because I live right next to Taco Bell. Like, I could walk there in 3 minutes. I was gonna go to Taco Bell and ask them for a wrapper. Oh, that'd be so cute if I could like pose for the thumbnail, like have it all wrapped in like the wrapper. But then I was like, a big part of the reason I want to stop going to fast food restaurants, which I mostly have, but I still go on occasion. But I want to stop because it's such a waste. It is such a waste of trash, of garbage. I could cook this. I mean, technically, I guess it's not waste-free. There's the plastic of the Beyond Meat, okay, but like, why go get more trash just for a thumbnail so that maybe I can attract more eyes to my channel and get more views? It's like, that's really tempting now that I've been getting a lot of subscribers recently, and it's like, oh wow, I can really pursue my hobby and my passion and maybe make something out of it. We'll get to that in a minute. But at the same time, I don't want to compromise my integrity for YouTube at all. If I find success on YouTube, whatever level of success I may or may not find, I refuse to let it be at the hand of compromising my morals. I don't want that. I don't need to do that. Like, people are like, well, this is how the industry is and you have to do it this way. You don't. If you have God, if you have a relationship with God, with Jesus Christ, with Yeshua, like, He is the provider. He is the way maker. And like, I can stick by God, stick by myself and my morals, and find success anyways if that's what God wants for me. If that's not what God wants for me, then honestly, like, it's probably better that this just like stays a small hobby. I had this stove a little low. I think I want it closer to medium for now. So I am gonna turn it up just a little bit, but as you can see, I've chopped it up this whole time just into tiny little pieces. Vegan cow flesh, yum! Plant-based cow flesh, delicious. If you're curious about how I can eat intuitively if I'm depriving myself of real Taco Bell, the idea of eating baby cow flesh disgusts me. It doesn't sound like food to me. Vegan Beyond Meat turned into Taco Bell? That sounds like a fucking meal and a half, baby. Yes, by the way, this is getting nice and oily. This is lovely. This is what we want. So I'm going to start adding our herbs and spices. So I'm gonna add, it's hard. First rule of cooking, unless you're baking, don't half a teaspoon of chili powder and quarter teaspoon of salt. No, stop it, no. You vibe it out, okay? You vibe it out, that's how you become a chef. At least an at-home chef. So I just added, it looked like a lot of shakes, but it's a bad shaker, just a very light layer of chili powder. I mean, not enough to make it super spicy. That's not how Taco Bell meat is. You just want enough to add a little color, add a little flavor, and a tiny bit of heat. Now I'm gonna add just, yeah, like a couple pinches of Spike, a couple pinches. Like not a lot. You're gonna add a lot of paprika. Are you ready? This shaker's really a good shaker, so I'm adding a lot of paprika right now. I just like covered the top layer back and forth. Like I went 1 layer of paprika over everything, 2 layers of paprika over everything, okay? Cumin, I'm gonna add like 1 hearty, like if I was gonna reach my fingers in and just get a pinch with all my fingers, like a fat pinch, that's how much I just put in there. Now, garlic, we like garlic. I'm gonna try not to add too much. I'm gonna do a thin layer of garlic powder over everything and a thin layer of onion powder over everything. Oh, I almost forgot. You have to add salt, duh. I'm not gonna add a lot because Beyond Meat comes pretty salty. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of sugar. I forgot to say earlier, there's sugar in it. I might have even added a little too much just now, we'll see. You don't want a lot, but you have to add sugar. Oops. Okay, I have to turn it back down now. Now I'm gonna turn it back down onto medium-low because I don't want it sticking. Now that it's tiny, it's starting to cook really fast, so I have to make sure I don't let that happen. All right, so now that we have that going, just gonna get a little bowl of water. This is a 10-ounce bowl. I basically just added a bowl of water, so about 10 ounces of water. Psych, you should use 20 ounces of water, 15 to 20, to 1 pack of Beyond Meat. And you can already see how orange and liquidy it is. It's already starting to look like Taco Bell meat. So I have it on medium-low right now, because I turned it back down. I don't want it burning. I'm gonna put the lid on, and as soon as it starts bubbling, I'm gonna put it down to low. And I'm gonna let it simmer for a while in those juices. Not a super long time, but as I let that start to simmer, I'm going to cut up everything else. Lettuce, tomato, onion. So I'm going to cut the lettuce into tiny little strips. Gonna mince the onion so that they're tiny little delicious bites. Gonna cut the tomato up pretty small too, because again, that's how Taco Bell does it. Turn this down to low. Give it one more stir real quick. Ooh, she's getting good now. Okay. Your girl got merch. What? All right, look, I know merch is for famous people, but hear me out. Teespring is super cool, super easy to design a shirt. And I drew, here's the shirt that I've been dreaming of for so long. I wasn't sure how I was gonna put him on a shirt, but this is the result. I drew this Grumpy Bernie. I just doodled him at work one day, and I just fell in love with my Grumpy Bernie drawing. I don't know. I really liked it. I've been wanting it on a shirt for myself for months. And then I was like, oh, well, I could like sell it to anyone else who wants a Grumpy Bernie shirt too. So I do have a Teespring store, link in the description if you're interested. It would really mean a lot. I mean, you don't have to, you know, if you don't like the shirt, like don't buy one, obviously, like, because guess what? If you don't like my merch, you can support me in a different way because I'm a Patreon now. What? Whoa, okay, so why am I asking for all this money? I don't know, it always seemed like a thing for famous people. I was like, maybe one day, if I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll start a Patreon. But look, it takes a lot of work to make these videos, and honestly, I would love to put way more work, way more effort, and way more quality into my channel. I would love to get an actual camera instead of filming on my iPhone. I would love to get a nice computer so I can do Twitch streams, talk about politics, so I can game, so I can do all kinds of stuff on Twitch. Like, I would really love to provide better and more content for the people who do seem to enjoy my content. And thanks, guys. I love you, by the way. You're so freaking cool. Thanks. And you know, if there's even one person out there who wants to like do first tier Patreon $3 a month once, okay? Like just one-time payment of $3, that means so much to me. Because that's a small bag of rice and a small bag of beans, right? Like that's food right there. And like the job market is dry, honestly, guys, and I need to put my net out and see what I can catch. YouTube is something that I've really loved for years. Since I was a little kid, I've been uploading little claymations that I made at home. So I've been uploading videos for so long, for like 15 years I've been uploading videos now. 14, since I was like 10. Even if I go for a while and come back, you know, I'm always gonna come back to YouTube. It's something that I really love as a hobby, and if I could even just make like a little bit of side money from anyone who has the money, who actually has money to spare. Okay, I don't want you like compromising your finances for mine. Like that, don't do that. Yeah, so I'm super excited. Link for Patreon also in the description. I'm gonna chop all this stuff up real quick. And this is a crucial step here. You have to take the end piece and salt it and pepper it so you can eat it. Doesn't that look good? This meat has been a-cooking. She is nice and saucy now. I don't want it to get overcooked, so I'm gonna turn it off here in just a sec. But first what I wanna do is add a bit more water. I like it to be a good amount of sauce, but you want it still too liquid. You wanna be like, that doesn't look like a sauce, that looks like seasoned water. And you're right, and we're about to fix it with a little bit of cornstarch. I know normally you wanna whisk it, but if you just stir it really good, it'll be okay. We're not adding a lot, just some sprinkles as you can see. Now I'm gonna just stir this in there.
Hi, it's like 3 days later and I'm still editing this, but what you could do if you're worried about the cornstarch staying clumpy, you could get a little flour sifter and pour it through that, so that way you get all the larger chunks out. That's the best way to work with cornstarch, but I was being lazy.
And this is gonna make that delicious, juicy sauce that runs down your hands and all over your face whenever you're eating Taco Bell. And that's what we want. Let's taste it. I'm gonna add more salt than I did. We use a salt spoon. I did 1 spoon, so now I'm gonna do a 2nd spoon. Plus a little extra. Okay, I minced those tomatoes really lazily, but that's okay. So now we have our 3 little bowls of delicious goodies. Obviously, you can't wrap your taco burrito thing in a cold tortilla. That's disgusting. How dare you suggest it? You have to heat it up. So we're gonna just skillet this baby, or not skillet, what is it? A griddle. A griddle. Oh, you can't see the griddle. I always call it a skillet. I don't mean to. I'm gonna turn this fan off now because it's gonna make my food cold. Gonna heat up our torts, and then I'm going to roll them, and then we'll eat them, I guess. And that's the order it goes in. This is the cheese we're gonna be using. We're gonna be using a combination of Miyoko's cheddar and Daiya. Both of these we can get at Sprouts. I don't know if your Sprouts will definitely have the same stock, but Sprouts can carry it. So if yours doesn't carry it, I suggest that they start carrying it because it's really good. It's kind of different. I like using a mix because this tastes very cheesy. This has the right texture, except it's a little sticky when it's melty, but I've gotten used to it and it's very similar. Like if I need a melty cheese, we're going Daiya, without a doubt. Oh no, wait. Is this the old or the new recipe? I think I might have gone the old recipe on accident. Ugh. We're using this bag of Daiya, which is the correct improved recipe. This thing is what I'm showing you. Okay, so first, we're gonna get some meat. Not too much, not too much. You don't want it too fat. Then some onion, and some lettuce, tomato. The only thing that would have made this perfect would be Taco Bell sauce packets. And then you add the cheese. Yes, please. And then you're gonna do this. It's kind of like rolling a joint or a blunt where you want to push the stuff in, get it nice and rolled up. Now we're at this point, so I have this tucked. Gonna make sure the sides are tucked in decently. I don't want stuff falling out the end. That's really annoying when people do that. Then tuck once, tuck twice. You have to tuck twice, otherwise it's not gonna roll properly. You have to double tuck. And then you just roll it up like that. So there you go. Oh, hold on, let me bite into it. Give the final official review.
His mouth like that again.
It came out really good. If you want more of a heat, you can add more chili powder. If you want it more savory, add a little less sugar. And that's so fun about cooking. Don't be afraid to tweak things. Add a little bit of one ingredient at a time if you're unsure of how much to use. And then just stop adding when you've added the right amount of the ingredient. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be so afraid. It's not like with baking where you add a tablespoon instead of a teaspoon of something and the entire thing is ruined. Cooking food isn't like that. You gotta be kind of intuitive. Don't be so scared, you know? Comment on here and tell me how the recipe went for you, what you think it needs, if you think it was good. I don't know. If you think it was trash, I mean, I guess let me know, but I don't agree. Thanks for watching. Thanks for making this recipe. If you make it, check out my merch. Check out my Patreon. I'm super excited about them. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.